Friday morning, August the 8th, the last day of summer vacation for so many Central Florida students. Holy cannoli. Can you believe we're here, rise and shine? I'm WESH 2 First Warning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world of weather. We'll get to our local forecast here in just a couple of minutes, but first, let's do this. Let's take a live look outside at the tropical satellite imagery, where there are two areas that we're watching. Dexter is done and over with, okay? There's an area off the southeastern United States coasts, and then there's an open wave Invest 96 in the open Atlantic. Let's start with that area off the southeast coast. Really not looking like it's going to want to do much, not a huge concern here. Then there's Invest 96, which frankly is looking less and less like it's wanting to do anything. Less and less likely for tropical development there. 50% chance of development over the next 7 days' time. That number has dropped. It was up to 60% just a couple of minutes ago. But if we come back to the open satellite imagery, okay, couple things I want to point out here. First off, this next wave, this is one we're probably going to want to watch very closely. This, I think, is the next wave that the models are at least indicating there could be some troubles, we'll say. Okay, so that's going to be a thing. All right, we'll watch it. We'll keep you updated, and we'll do so with no hype. That's my promise to you. But that's the next one to watch. So let's do this. Let's pop up the model data and let's see. And if you're new to Coffee Talk, we always do the local stuff. But this time of year, I just feel like with the tropical hype machine, as it were, it's better to start this way. So we'll just kind of come out to the wide shot. What's interesting to me is looking out in the Gulf this weekend, models are throwing lowish, pressure-ish together. Doesn't look like it's anything but a sloppy low and a sloppy area that brings rainfall chances up. And to that point, that one of the parts of the title on Coffee Talk today was watching flooding rains for us. That is why you rain on me over the weekend. This is how. Anyway, you remind me. All right, so that moves through. We'll go back out to the wide shot. Little wave that could maybe trying to get going there in the central Atlantic, though, is that next one, okay? Moving toward the Lesser Antilles, staying north of Puerto Rico. All right, getting strong and then recurving. So that, just so you know, that area there, this is the struggle when you're directing and anchoring, so to speak. That wave there that we're looking at on the tropical satellite is that, okay? So that is something we're going to need to watch. It's nothing yet, although I would suspect it becomes an invest today. It's looking healthy enough. According to this, it would be a recurve and get awful close to the mid-Atlantic, right? Awful close to the mid-Atlantic. I'm just looking to see if I've got a better view here. Atlantic, Central Atlantic, Eastern Tropical Atlantic, Greater Antilles, Gulf, Lesser Antilles, North, Northwest. Northwest. That's what I'm looking for. So yeah, I mean, according to the American GFS, it gets awful close to the Carolinas. Gets awful close. See, this is where it gets interesting. Like, gets awful close to the northeastern United States. That would be the 23rd. And then gets up into the Nova Scotia Canadian Maritimes. That would be a nasty little setup there um, for them. Now that said, let's go back. Let's switch over to the European model. Let's come over to the basin view. European still developing some sort of weak area of low pressure in the Gulf. Up. There's the wave in the open Atlantic forming. We have to switch from the 6Z back to the 0Z because it goes out further. Gets close. It's slower. Gets close to the Outer Banks. So there's some consistency between the GFS and the European that we're going to have some sort of an area of low pressure awful close to the Outer Banks there. That's the 23rd. That's the European. Here's the GFS. Okay. There's a little consistency there all of a sudden, right? So interesting. Let's look at the Euro AI. Same idea. Let's just back it up and we'll roll through time. Near the Antilles. Staying east but close. I give Volta-Smear. That would probably put Wesh into hurricane coverage just to be safe. Maybe. Depends. I don't know. And then the Euro AI brings it ashore in the Outer Banks and then ashore into the Northeast United States. Now, a couple things about this. You've got three different models showing a very similar scenario. So to that point, there is now starting to be some consistency among the models. Let's go back though and let's review model run to model run. I think that's a very important thing. Okay. So that's the Euro AI current run. Let's go back a run. And to show it to you, this is the current European run, AI, Euro AI, east of us and then into North Carolina. Let's go back a run. 0Z was into the Gulf and through the Caribbean. So my point is, we do all of the sudden have all of the models showing something of a East Coast recurvature off the shoreline of Florida, close to the Carolinas, close to the Northeastern United States. Now we've got consistency among models, but it's important to also notice we do not have run to run consistency. This was one run back. This is the current run. Okay. So to that point, we don't have the consistency run to run yet. So it's not like this is locked in. I want to make sure you understand this is not locked in. We're also looking 200 plus hours out. This is not, super long range, but it's long range enough that our consistency needs to be very closely monitored, okay? Now, we can also look at ensembling. So let's look at the GFS ensembles and roll through. There it is on the right side of the screen. All right. Ensemble support is there. Some into Florida, some way out and away from us. Let's just keep rolling through on the ensembles. That's as far out as the GFS ensemble goes. But I will add that's hour 318. The ensemble is still running. So we'll see. But either way, the Eastern Seaboard's going to have to watch this. All right, that's the GFS. Let's switch over to the Euro ensemble. Come back over to this view. All right, so you can see it still spreads. So the consistency is not there, right? Let's switch up to the Northeast view and you can see, yeah, I mean, there's just a ton of solutions around. And the Euro AI is going to be in the same spot. We'll go back this way. Yeah, I mean, they're from Florida to anywhere along the eastern seaboard, to all the way up the coastline. So to this point in time, nothing is set in stone. Nothing at all is set in stone. Nothing is locked in. However, this wave here, which is not an invest at all, is something that we'll need to watch. And to that point, once we start getting model data, that'll be an invest. I would suspect that'll be an invest today. I would suspect today, but there's nothing promised, right? I don't control that stuff. So this is going to be the next thing to watch. Should you be freaking out? No. Why? Because the ensemblage is all over the place. Now, one point of note, one interesting thing is the most recent run of the GFS, the most recent run of the European, the most recent run of the European AI does fairly agree on paths. That doesn't mean that we've got consistency. We've got consistency among models, but what we do not have is consistency between model runs. What we do not have is consistency through the ensembles. So, to that point, that's a wave to watch. Should I be scared? No. Vanessa says serious Dorian vibes. I do not like that at all. Listen, this is the way it goes this time of year. You know, if you've lived here long enough, you just know this is the way it goes. It's the way it goes. You're going to be fine. We're all going to be fine. James, what's the consistency though? Well, what we're looking at is models not completely going left and right and left and right. Little nudges is very different than big nudges. So that's the first thing. Okay. The second thing is those ensembles, that ensemble spread needs to start to tighten, right? Like when we look at the ensembles, and I'll just bring it back here. You know, when you see it going from the Yucatan Peninsula all the way to out past Bermuda, that is a significant ensemble spread. That needs to start clustering into a big cluster of circles. Then we start to dial in. So we're getting there little by little by little. We're not there yet, right? At this point in time, something's going to develop, and it's going to be something that we'll have to watch. All right. So that's kind of where we're at. Joanne says, I'm new here, but would this affect flights? All right, first off, welcome. Good morning. Um, we don't know yet. Yeah, you know, when you look at, and gosh, what is the name of this graphic? Hold on, there's a graphic that I can use to illustrate. There's one graphic in particular. It's ugly, but it does the job. Ah, this is the one. All right. So days until. So this is essentially if something were to want to develop. All right. And it's out in like Africa, right? It's that wave there, bottom right corner of your screen. All right. So if it wants to get to the United States, you're looking at 2 weeks' time, right? Time to the US. So to that point, you know, we've got a lot of time to watch this. Way out there. So is this affecting flights? We don't know. We don't know. It's not that kind of a scenario just yet. You know, right now we're just watching to see like what are you going to do? You know, first things first, as it's rolling off the coast of Africa, it kind of has to get its sea legs. So to that point, they may wait until it gets its sea legs before it becomes an invest, right? That's the way that that goes. Yeah. All right. So anyway, so to answer your question, Joanne, too early to tell, but thanks for hanging with us, and I hope you hang with us on a regular basis. All right. Remember, we only accept hurricanes locally after Labor Day. It's poor taste to hang shutters before Labor. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Other comments, questions. Brian's asking, what is causing the system to skirt land rather than enter land? Well, if it gets stronger, it recurves, and essentially weaker goes west. If it's stronger, it's deeper. It taps into, of all things, the Coriolis force, which is the rotation of the Earth. So that plays into it. And so somebody also, Anthony's asking, why wouldn't the new wave follow the curve of Invest 96? Atmospherics change a couple of 100 miles apart from each other. Strength changes, there's a lot of different things there. So, yeah. Let's see here. Long story long, exactly. All right. Any other questions about the tropics? Any other questions? Mickey's asking, is the timeline lining up with anything in our long range forecast? We have to watch, wait, and see. There, we get into a very, very busy part of the pattern, and then a not as busy part of the pattern when we look at the long range stuff. So, to give you an idea, it's August the 8th now. Okay. We didn't put this in our original forecast, but we observed this active Chantal part of the pattern. That becomes active August 12th through the 15th. So somewhere in the Carolinas, I'm not saying it's going to be a hurricane, but there's going to be some sort of a storm system around there, tropical or not, around August 12th through the 15th. So if something gets going and wants to move that direction fairly quickly, that would be the Chantal part of the pattern. But then at the same point in time, right, we start to watch the northern Gulf low. It would be like here. The slow Gulf low part of the pattern is an area of low pressure. That should be working that direction. That's late August. Sarah part of the pattern is September. The northern Gulf low is September. And then, yeah. So, anyway, you get the idea. We're going to be re-entering, especially late in August. We're going to be re-entering into a busy part of the pattern, and I think that the first thing is going to be this guy, and then after this guy, there's going to be plenty of other parts of the pattern. But look for very late August into early September. It's going to be very busy. I think. I really do believe that's going to be the case. Yeah. All right. Sound good? Connie's asking about the Madden-Julian oscillation. Great question. Let's take a look. All right, Madden-Julian oscillation. What we're looking at here essentially is, think of it as tropical cyclone favorability, where it really looks to be good. Okay? When it's in phase one basin like the Pacific, it's out of phase in the Atlantic. So for right now, for example, look where it's in phase. It's in phase, and I'll switch over. We can just look here. Like it's definitely in phase in the main development region. And it stays in phase. That's why we're thinking tropical development will be a thing, right? Kind of stays in phase. Then around the 24th, it looks like we kind of go a little out of phase. And then I would suspect we'd go back in phase getting into September. But again, we're in phase right now, which is why we've started to see these waves developing as they are. So, yeah, Madden-Julian oscillation is absolutely kind of helping add to the fun. Makes total sense. That's why this is going to be a thing that at least wants to try and get going. Right? John's asking, is the Saharan air layer looking to be finished for the season? Let's look, my friend. Here's the next 72 hours. So this is kind of looking at modeling. So there's another waft of Saharan air, but notice it's kind of lifting a little further north. So it's still there. There's another wave of it. It's just maybe not as pronounced as it was, right? Yeah. All right. So, any other questions about this little guy here? Rolling off the coast of Africa, that will be our next area to really watch. This is probably going to be the first one of the season that we have to really watch. All right. Terry says, I would be so glad when this hurricane season is over with. They're never fun. But I promise you we'll be here together. I promise you. All right. Brent, is the wave coming off Africa more north than predicted? I don't think so. Wait, what makes you say that, Brent? Jenny says, stay away, please, and thank you. Yeah, that's for sure. First hurricane major, Joey's asking. We'll see, bud. We haven't had any hurricanes yet. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out, right? Too early to tell. Just we'll watch and we'll see how this plays out. Don't you worry. Yeah. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? I love weather. I think hurricane season is fun, Kristen says. I used to as well until I became an adult and had like a house. Yeah. Brent says, thought that because they said it would be a low rider. I mean, it's just getting off of Africa now, so it's not like it's done anything yet, you know? We'll see. The only thing that makes a season palatable is knowing you will tell us. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Yeah. Matt says, show the chart of hurricanes by month so we know where on the timeline we are. You are here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, here. Well, and it's like something like 90% of tropical systems happen after the month of August or August 1st. So, like, when you think about it, yeah, the you are here, we're like here, right? Right where it starts picking up. And case in point, right? We looked out to the map, it was there. Lucas says we need some sort of tropical system to keep our ecosystem in line. That's Earth's way of releasing a ton of energy that it needs to release. It's like screaming when it gets angry, you know? So that's the way that goes. Yeah. All right, that's all I've got for the tropics. Questions, comments, concerns before we move on. Questions, comments, concerns about the tropics. All right, there's the map of what we're tracking right now. Invest 96. We've got an area off the southeastern United States coast. Not a significant worry there. May see something tagged Invest 97 over the next couple of days off the coast of Africa. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. All right. Before we get to our local questions, comments, concerns, Nancy, happy birthday. Jamie Lopez on YouTube says, looks like we're starting to climb the mountain. We are. We are. That's right. Let's see here. All right. All right. That's where we're at locally. Let's shift gears, hit that clutch, shift around, and see how things are locally this morning. Live look outside at our Tower Cam network in Tavares. It's beautiful this morning, a mix of clouds and sunshine. Our first warning, live Doppler radar revealing, though, that while it may be beautiful this morning, there's a whole lot of stuff sitting just off the shoreline. Thankfully, it's not coming on in for now, but it's there. Point is, there's going to be some moisture that's going to be impacting us through the day today, right? Temperatures out the door, upper 70s. That's not bad. 12-hour forecast revealing a stormy afternoon and a bit of an early start, meaning a bit of an early finish. That's not bad at all. 91 degrees, our 3 p.m. temperature. Um, 50, 60% coverage of showers and thunder showers for us, right? So it's not terrible. And over the next couple of days, let's discuss this weather pattern a bit, okay? Because we've essentially got this storm system that's hanging out around an old front. And over the next couple of days, we're just going to be pulsing and pulsing moisture and pulsing moisture. And because of that, we do have to watch for at least the threat of flooding rains these next couple of days. Today, tomorrow, and Sunday, the lowest, level 1 out of 4 risk for flooding rains in Central Florida. I mean, I don't know what you saw at your house yesterday, but it was, what did we get here? Standby. Just curious how much rain I saw yesterday. I saw like 3 inches the day before at the house. It says none yesterday. Did it not rain yesterday? I thought it rained yesterday. Interesting. It says that it didn't rain at all yesterday. Interesting. I guess it didn't rain at my house yesterday. Oh, yeah, I guess it didn't. But there were areas. Let's look. Hold on. Let's go back to the radar. I just want to see. All right, this is 6 hour. I'm going to change it from 6 hour rainfall to 24-hour rainfall. Bear with me a second. Okay, so there were spots like right along the turnpike here. Jeez Louise. Doppler radar indicates 5, 6, almost 7 inches of rain there. Okay. That's over the last 24 hours' time. So you can see at least an isolated pocket here or there that has seen some significant rains. That's a potential for us next couple of days. So let's look at the next few days. And, isolated pockets, according to the GFS, could see 5, 6, 7, 8. We saw that yesterday in Claremont, right? European is a little drier. I would tend to lean more onto the GFS forecast for that. So let's do this. Let's dial up Futurecast, get an idea of the rain timing for today and for tomorrow. All right. Let's get us ready for the weekend. All right. We'll start here. Coastal rains, not a huge thing, but about 12, 1 o'clock, we'll start to sparkle up our rains for the eastern seaboard into the metro. 3, 4 o'clock, storms widespread, and then kind of fading 5, 6, 7 o'clock, right? Getting less and less, and then looking better beyond that. For tomorrow, for our Saturday, a little bit of rain off the eastern seaboard, getting that East Coast sea breeze started. 3, 4, look at all that rain. 5 o'clock, widespread showers and storms, and everything thrusts off to the east through about 8, 9, 10 o'clock. All right, and then Sunday, Futurecast will go out through about lunchtime. Look at that. Again, Sunday, widespread stormy, widespread stormy weather. Just a lot of moisture around, right? These next couple of days are going to be dominated by that storm system nearby. And so, as is such, rain coverage stays at a healthy 60% dose, right? It's going to be a stormy ish one. All right. And then into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll back off the rain chances just a little bit. Still can't believe Monday, first day of classes. Love that so much. Love that so much. Love that so much. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? Bus stops Monday morning looking good. I'll be with you on West 2 News Sunrise for it. I'll guide you through the bus stops, Jenny. Yeah, so next week, I get to hang out with you on West 2 News Sunrise. Yay! I'll be with you. Next week's a 6-day week for me, so I'll be with you Monday through Saturday. So I'll guide you through the first week of classes. I'll be honored to do that. Hang with y'all. So next week, when you're getting the kids ready for school, do your thing with me, please. We'll have the bus stop forecast. I'll be taking you through the day. Yeah. All right. Questions, comments, concerns, my friends? How we doing? Ephraim is asking, did I miss the tropics update? Yeah, I spent like 25 minutes on the tropics this morning. Tim's asking, why are the precipitation percentages always ending in zero? Why not 63%? Because we humans are doing this, and I'm not going to put 63. Kellyanne's not going to put 63. Matt's asking, live report from a bus stop. I will be in the studio. You can do whatever you want to do, Matt. You want to go do a live report from a bus stop? You can do that. I'm ready to go. I could pop you up here. I could have you do the weather with me. Matt, live from the bus stop. We have the technology, we have the know-how. That's up to you. See, the screen's dark. All it's missing is you. Live from the bus stop. Oh boy. Unless it's a prime number, Oliver. I struggled with prime numbers. Still struggle with prime numbers. I just never got them very well. Coastal, I can't promise that Coastal's updated. It's not. Kellyanne hasn't been doing the coastal forecast. I'm not going to knock her. It's her shift. She does what she wants. But yeah. All right. Debbie says, don't pick on Matt. I will pick on whoever I please, Debbie. Pilone, not Bustelo. This is Pilone. Pilone. How was the Meet the Teacher? It was good. So yesterday wasn't Meet the Teacher. Yesterday was Um, Yesterday was kindergarten orientation. Today, this morning, is meet the teacher. So that's where I'll be heading after coffee talk. Yes. All right. All right. That's all I got. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for coffee talk. Thank you all so much for hanging out. We're going to make it a good day. We're gonna make it a great day. Does that sound great? 867-5309. EI. All right. Take care, you guys. I will see you tomorrow morning for coffee talk. Yeah, I'm not on TV today. I'm not working today. All right.